All right, we continue to see a lot of momentum at the state level for laws to protect children from experimental gender procedures that bring permanent and destructive results. In fact, there are some 22 states already that have passed similar legislations to that we're talking about now in Ohio, where the General Assembly recently passed HB 68, known as the Saving Adolescents from Experimentation Act. Also, most of us refer to it as simply the SAFE Act. Well, the bill now awaits the signature of Ohio's Republican Governor Mike DeWine, who so far has not weighed in on this legislation. But now he's under fire from the usual suspects of people who are ready to villainize those who are working to protect children from mutilation and sterilization and the like. So viewers and listeners in Ohio, we need your help to push this legislation across the goal line. So we'll give you some pointers on how you can be involved with that here in just a moment. But just to give you a heads up before we get into this, joining me now to discuss this is the sponsor of HB 68, State Representative Gary Click. He represents the 88th District of Ohio and also is a pastor. Representative Click, welcome back to Washington Watch. Great to have you.
Hey, good evening. It's great to be with you, Jody. You're one of my heroes as a pastor who served in the legislature yourself. I've watched you carefully. Thank you for paving the way and setting the example.
Well, thank you very much, my friend. I love pastors, and I tell you, so much rests on our shoulders these days as pastors to deal with the issues that are facing our country from a biblical perspective and really change the moral climate. And you have been doing that, and I likewise just hats off to you, Gary, and thank you. You introduced this legislation to protect children. It's now been passed. It's waiting for your governor to sign it. Give us the latest. Where does it stand right now?
Well, and it's also a twofer because it also includes Save Women's Sports. That was rolled into it as well. So we have the benefit of both.
Right.
So we've gift wrapped both of these bills for the governor, sent them to him, and they're sitting on his desk. It was a super majority in both chambers, in both the House and in the Senate, and it sits on his desk. I've had conversations with the administration, and listen, we're putting the right people in front of him. The governor is asking the right questions. They are giving him the right answers. I don't know how he can avoid coming to the right conclusion. Our governor does care about kids. He has not until recently, I don't think, had the opportunity to study this issue. And we know that the other side of the hospitals, they're doing a lot of fear mongering, and they're trying to tell him that, trans kids are going to die and things like that. And they're putting a lot of fear into him, but we're putting the people in there to counter that argument. We've let him talk to medical professionals, to doctors. We've let him talk to trans kids, parents and so forth, and detransitioners. And we're putting everyone in front of him. And like I said, he's asking all the right questions. And I have to believe that in the end, the governor's going to do the right thing. We have no guarantees. We have no promises. But as that clock ticks, I was on the phone today with, different parents and detransitioners, and they're all on pins and needles. They're crying, talking to me on the phone, and they just can't wait. And they're ready just to bust into tears of joy when the governor signs this bill.
Wow. Well, listen, again, it sounds like you're doing all the right things as well. And I don't know of anyone, particularly in Ohio, that knows this issue any better than you do. And you've seen, as you just described, one individual there, you've seen that these procedures cause harm to children.
Yeah.
I get the feel that you are, at the end of the day, optimistic that Governor DeWine will make the correct decision. Is that the correct read?
That is my sense. I don't have any promises. I don't have any guarantees. The governor hasn't given me the wink and the nod or anything like that. But just by the sense of they're asking me questions right now. They're talking to me. They're communicating with me, and they're saying, is it this kind of a person that we can talk to? Do you have that kind of a person? And I'm trying to help them make contact. I know the other side. They're talking to people on the other side as well. But the people that I am putting in front of him are very compelling. People, some people here in Ohio, we have, Morgan Keller recently came out as a detransitioner. She was still living as the opposite sex when we started carrying this bill. And she met Chloe Cole after she detransitioned, and Chloe connected her with us. And Morgan actually reached back out to the people that counseled her here in Ohio, in Columbus, and she said, you failed me. You didn't ask all the key questions you should have asked. And her therapist said, I'm sorry, I think I did fail you. I just wanted to affirm you. And what a terrible excuse that is. And then she says to Chloe, she says,
Wow.
this is all just so new. And that's what we've been saying. This is experimental. They don't know what they're
Wow.
doing, they're just guessing at it. I've talked to parents today, even some parents I hadn't even had a chance to have in depth conversations with before because they don't want to be public. But they said, we go in to see these doctors at Nationwide or some of these other places, and they treat us like idiots if we ask questions. And they tell us the only choice we have is hormones and to affirm our child as the opposite sex. They don't, and we just get bullied if we ask any other questions. And
Gary,
that's
real
what
quickly,
happens. Yes.
our time is slipping away. Tell me real quickly how listeners and viewers can help. How can they contact Governor DeWine and put a little
Sure.
positive pressure on him?
Yeah, just
We want
Google
to.
Ohio Governor. I think it's governor.ohio.gov. If you go there, there'll be a contact us link. Reach out, let him know that you need him to sign this HB 68.
And we're going to
SAFE
put
Act
the
and Save
phone
Women's
number
Sports.
up.
Please
We're
do
putting
that.
the phone number up right now. 614-466-3555. That's 614-466-3555.